So I try to stay away from controversial topics when it comes to my market update videos. But there's one thing that's been floating around the industry for the last few months and that I'm getting a lot of questions about. And I just want to lay out some facts and let you come to your own conclusions. The first fact that I'm just going to lay out is that the number of transactions taking place in the marketplace is down significantly regionally and across the country, right? Just the pie has shrunken dramatically. Now, for consumers, the real estate market is still robust. You know, there's still relatively low inventory. So if you're a home seller, you're still going to sell your house fast and for a top dollar. And if you're a buyer, inventory is improving and it's getting a little bit easier for you to find a property. But the reality of it is the pie as a whole is getting smaller. And that's the number of residential real estate transactions that is taking place. And whenever there is a dramatic contraction, the amount of available revenue, an industry is always going to look to innovate or change the way they're doing things to try to keep more company dollar or keep more on their side of the ledger because there's so much less of it to go around. Now, one of the things that we've seen since the Sitzer-Burnett settlement, which is another big contributing factor to the shakeup in the real estate industry, is the rise of the office exclusive listing. Now, before the Sitzer-Burnett settlement, roughly 2% of listings in our area were office exclusive. Now, depending on the area, it's upwards of 8%. Now, my understanding is that a lot of times office exclusive listings are offered to a seller as a way to maybe test the market for their property. Or just say, hey, I'm going to go sell this on my own. We're not going to have to go out and get other agents involved in this. That's what's happening in the marketplace, right? That's why there's this rise, or the perceived reason why it would be an advantage to the seller to sign an office exclusive listing. But Bright just did this real extensive study. They spent 6 months looking at transactions, and just the facts that they came out about office exclusive listings, or what their findings were on office exclusive listings, are, I think, rather telling. First, they found that office exclusive listings actually take 17 days longer to go under contract. And in most instances, 90% of them, in fact, the house eventually ended up going on the broader market as a traditional listing. Or to put it in other terms, in 9 out of 10 of these office exclusive periods, the listing broker failed to sell the property. Yet they're still pushing this as a good recourse for their seller. Now, certainly there are reasons why some sellers would want to keep it quiet that their property is on the market or they're trying to sell it. But to go from 2% of the market to 8% of the market over a 6-month period is rather dramatic, and says to me that this really isn't about the sellers, it's more about the listing brokers. Now, one thing we know about the law of supply and demand is that the more demand you have, the higher you can charge for things. And why would you want to limit your exposure to the market by signing an office exclusive listing? Or better yet, why would you want to offer that to your seller as being an advantage to them when the data kind of shows that it isn't? They found that office exclusive properties did not sell for more. They took longer to sell. And in 9 out of 10 cases, they failed to sell during that office exclusive period. So why would you push for an office exclusive listing and limit your exposure? I don't know. I wonder why. Anyways, when my agents ask me if we should do office exclusive listings, my answer is always no. I think you should always do what's right for your seller. And in most instances, what's right for your seller is getting them the most amount of exposure for their listing and not hiding it behind a wall. That's just my thoughts. Certainly there could be other reasons to do an office exclusive listing, but I can't think of any on a grand scale that would truly be a benefit to the seller. So just think about those facts and come to your own conclusions about whether an office exclusive listing is either good for you as a seller or good for your client as an agent.